Hi everybody, this is Frilioth and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to build the new version of my automatic chicken cooker, the Chicken Cooker 2.0. Now there are two main differences between this one and the previous chicken cooker that we made. The first one is that it uses slightly less redstone and slightly less materials, because it uses an extra observer block instead of a repeater. And observers are slightly cheaper to make than repeaters, although you do need an extra piece of quartz, but you use less redstone. So it does take up a few less resources in that respect, and it also takes up a smaller footprint. The footprint of this is 3x6, whereas the footprint of the previous version is 3x8. So this takes up slightly less resources in the fact that it uses less blocks. So to build this cooker, you're going to need a stack of blocks, you're going to need some slabs, you're going to need 2 blocks of glass, a bucket of lava to cook the chickens, some glowstone for a bit of lighting. You're going to need a bit of carpet to go over the hopper at the back where the breeder chickens go. You're going to need a chest to store all your ill-gotten gains at the front. You're going to need 2 hoppers, 2 dispensers. Now these have to be dispensers. If you pick droppers, they won't work, so make sure you pick dispensers. You're going to need a comparator, a couple of blobs of redstone dust, and 2 observer blocks. So before you start building, you need to find yourself an area to build onto. As I say, you'll only need a 3x6 area. I mean, how small is that? 3x6 for a fully automatic chicken cooker. So once you find your 3x6 area, you need to drop yourself down a normal chest right at the front, like that. You need to go around the back, crouch and put a hopper into the back of the chest. And you'll need to put a block behind that. On top of that block, you need to grab yourself your dispensers. As I say, these have to be dispensers. And put your 2 dispensers facing forward, like that. Now whiz round the back, and into the back of the bottom dispenser, you need to crouch and put yourself another hopper. Like that. That's where your feeder chickens are going to stand. And on top of that, you want to put yourself a bit of carpet. Like that. Now you want to put another block down there. And on top of that block, you need to put yourself down a comparator. That's obviously going to read a signal. Every time the chickens lay an egg, it's going to go through the hopper and it's going to cause the comparator to change state. It's going to flash, basically. So then you want to get directly above your comparator and you want to put an observer facing upwards. So you want the detector part at the bottom. You want the output, the redstone part, at the top. Just there like that. Okay, so now you've got something like that. Now it's time to start building up around the outside of it. So you want to grab yourself some blocks of choice. And put something like that. And then over the front, above your chest, you need to put yourself down some glass so you can see in. It doesn't have to be glass, but I mean, if you want to see in, it's going to have to be glass. Then you want to go to the inside of it, and on top of this hopper, you need to put yourself down a half slab. Now this has got two reasons for using a half slab. First of all, your baby chickens stand on there and they're not quite big enough, so when the lava comes out, they don't get cooked. They only get cooked when they grow up. And secondly, because it's a half slab, once the lava comes out, it doesn't flow down onto the baby chickens either, because the half slab prevents it from doing that. So now we need to put yourself down some more blocks all the way around the outside of it. Okay? And go around the other side, do exactly the same. Okay, so now we've got that. So now we've done that, we need to get our chickens in there. And you need to get the chickens into there where the red carpet is. And before you do that, we need to grab a couple of temporary blocks. Let's just grab a bit of dirt so we know that it's temporary and it's not supposed to be there. You need to put 2 temporary blocks there and there, because if you get your chickens in there without these blocks, they're going to jump out. And we don't want that. So once you've got your temporary blocks in the way, you need to get your chickens into this hole. Now you can do this by throwing eggs in there if you want to. You can do this by getting a couple of chickens in there and breeding them. Or you can do it by enticing loads of chickens from around wherever you live and trying to push them into the hole. Either way, you're going to have a lot of fun doing it. You can get 24 chickens in this hole before they start to cram. Any more than that and they'll die, and you'll just get raw chicken meat into your chest. So there's no point in trying to stick 50 in there. It just won't work. I'm going to use spawn eggs because I can. Okay, once you've got your chickens in there, you need to put down another observer block. You need to go to the front of the farm, stand at the front, aim at that back temporary block, and stick an observer down looking this way, pointing this way. So you've got your redstone bit now at the front, you've got your detector part at the back. Okay, then on top of this piece of redstone, on top of this observer, you need to put down a piece of redstone. Okay, and then on the front, you need to put down another piece of redstone on top of that dispenser, directly on top of the dispenser. Now that piece of redstone is going to power both of those dispensers. So now, every time an egg is laid at the back, that comparator will light up, which will cause that piece of redstone to flash twice, which will cause that piece of redstone to flash twice because of the observers, which will fire out and suck back in the lava that we're going to put in there in a second. And it'll also fire out the eggs that are at the bottom. Now we need to stick the lava in the top dispenser. Now don't do this before you start messing around with the observers and the redstone, because if you do, you're just going to get lava everywhere. So make sure you put the lava in last, once all of the redstone is finished. Okay? Then we need to stick ourselves a piece of glowstone above this hole here. And then you need to cover all of this with these slabs. Not forgetting to fill up the back with your solid block. And that, believe it or not, is all you need to do to build the new version of my automatic chicken cooker. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, everybody. If you have, please don't forget to leave it a like, and if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future tutorials. This is Frilioth, and I'm out of here.